today's episode, Will Sweetwater Do the Right Thing? Part 2.
Wow. So, the saga continues with Sweetwater. Will Sweetwater do the right thing? This is part 2. First of all, if you're new here, my name is Joe. This is the Joe Wentz Project TV right here on YouTube. And just a quick recap if nobody has seen part 1. This past weekend was really bad. Really, really bad. And so go back to watch part 1 if you want to get the full story. We are streaming live on a couple of platforms at this present moment. YouTube, of course, and Facebook as well. So if you're watching this on Facebook, man, feel free to comment as well. It should come up in the comment section. And we should be able to see what's going on. And as a matter of fact, let's hop on over to the comment section. We're early in the game. I usually don't get a whole lot of people on a live stream because my hours are totally backwards from normal people's schedules because, I work at the night shift if, you don't know that already. And so... Oh my goodness. Let's see. We got R23. I always get that wrong, R2. I always get it. I get R2, R3 locking the bro. I just saw part 1. Holy S, bro. Yeah. And what I forgot to do yesterday was showcase the comments. I was so upside down with everything. So there we go. I'm sorry that I forgot to do that yesterday. I like to show people's comments because it just, it makes the chat more involved. I think that's it's just a little added touch. I think that makes a difference. It shows that the host is paying attention to the chat. And R2, yeah, man. Oh my gosh, yeah. He said he just saw part 1. Yeah, it was. Oh my God. I mean, I was doing that show yesterday, and I was even today. I was almost in tears, man. Not to sound weird, but. Oh my God. So, but you have to, I don't know, man. Just try to pursue forward, I guess. I don't know. Let's move on down the line. Andrew Knox. Hey, Deuterino. What's going on, my friend? Andrew Knox. He is also co-host of the show when we go live. And I'll always love Andrew's input and his knowledge, because R2 has a lot of knowledge as well. I've learned a lot from both these gentlemen. I really have. And that's they say the smartest man in the room is the one that asks the most questions. And Lord knows I can do that because I am not very knowledgeable on a lot of guitar stuff. I love to plug up and play, but when it comes to a lot of technical stuff, I kind of fall short, but thanks to these gentlemen, it's helped me out, and I've learned a few things. Andrew Knox says, hoping for good news, man. Yeah, well, we'll find out here in just a second. And let's see. Electric Gypsy Blues, Louie, what is going on, man? How are you doing? How are you doing, sir? Let's see here. R2 says hello to Louie. I think that's nice that people communicate in the chat, and it's a wonderful community here. I mean, it's amazing. Let's see. Jamal. Hey, man. Are you at work right now? Because I just remember from I think like 2 Thanksgivings ago, I do this riding home from work. early Thanksgiving morning, and nobody pops in because I get off. If I get off at a normal time, it's like 4:30 or 5 a.m. right. And I was heading home doing a live drive, and Jamal popped in. And he's like, "Hey, good morning, happy Thanksgiving." I was like, "Whoa!" He said he was heading to work, going to the airport. So I don't know if you're there today or taking a lunch break or got the day off. Either way, Jamal, thanks, man. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate that, man. Let's see here. What we got? Yeah. Halftime knocks. Yeah. I wasn't going to say nothing, man. I was like, okay. That's just a little joke that Andrew and I have. A little inside joke. But I was calling him big time. He goes, "Now how about halftime?" I said, "Okay, man. That'll work. That'll work." Okay, let's move on down the line. Here we have Polly, what is going on? Hey, what's up, Joe? Hey, Polly, how are you, man? It's good to see you in the chat. Thank you very much for taking the time to hop in and participate, man. I really appreciate that. Everybody's talking to everybody else. That's so cool. I love to see the back and forth with people. That's awesome. Oh, Jamal, he answered my question. Yes, today is Monday, and he says, "I'm off on Sundays and Mondays." Yeah, I used to have those days off years ago, and I didn't care. I liked it. At that time, I liked it because if you have to take care of some business like the bank or a doctor's appointment, you can do that on Monday. You can't really do it on Sunday, of course, obviously. But, yeah, Monday, it always worked for me. And then I finally was able to get bumped up to where I'm at now, so I have Friday and Saturdays off. It really equals out to really like a day and a half, the way my schedule is, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I will take it. R2, he says, "Hey, Jamal, what's going on?" That's cool, man. So nice. Let me move on down the line. This chat is moving. Thank y'all. Oh, there's Slick Rick, man, my brother from another mother, Slick Ricky Hoyle. What is going on, my man? He went to the race in Atlanta this weekend with his son, and I think his son's friend, they went to check out the race. I thought that was cool. And Ricky also, he's a huge Allman Brothers fan, and we both have Greg Allman's audiobook, My Cross to Bear, and we talk about that sometimes. Well, Ricky was down that way, and he went to the cemetery where Greg Allman and his brother Dwayne are buried, and he sent me a picture of him standing in front of the location. I thought that was really cool. Excuse me. I thought that was really cool, Rick. Yes, Mr. Paul, we're getting ready to jump into that. Yeah, I'm just trying to give people time to jump in. I'm getting ready to touch on that. Yes, sir. Mr. De Silva, is that right? Am I saying that right? Hey, Joe, just watched part 1 last night. That sucks. I'm telling you, if anybody's going to have any bad luck, it's going to be this man right here, me. It's like, what the hell, man? Let's see. Oh, Rick, man, I appreciate that, man. You're very kind, Rick. So for that, your Peterbilt is paid off. Damn, debt free now. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's see what's going on. Jamal, I will get to your comment, sir. Thank you for that. I'm not ignoring it. I'm just trying to say hey to other people real quick. My brother Ralph, the German butcher. I'm driving, but I'm listening. Thank you, Ralph, man, for tuning in. Thank you very much, man. Let's see. Is there anything else I haven't touched on here real quick? Andrew Knox says hello. All right. All right. Ricky says, "Hey, brother, it was awesome. He went to the race. He said it was really cool. Thanks, brother. It was awesome. I believe we need to ride down there one day. wouldn't that be a cool road trip, man? To go see that cemetery. I don't know who else is buried in there beside the Allman Brothers. I don't know if there's any more celebs in there or not, but and to go to the Big House Museum as well. Man, that'd be cool. I always love, Southern rock as well. Let's see here. Louis Linguini, hey man. It says, hey Joe, I just flew into this chat and boy, are my arms tired. There he is. Yeah. Louis, what's up? Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm telling you. Okay. All right. So, let me do a quick recap for people like Louis and other people that are chiming in on Facebook. Okay. So just please bear with me. So over the weekend, Saturday morning, it was morning for me. It was about 11:45 a.m. So I wake up and on my smartphone, I do like just anybody else. You check see if you got any notifications or whatever. And there was a couple of emails from Sweetwater, and it said, thank you for your purchase. Things are being packaged up, ready to ship. And I was like, do what? So I didn't order anything. I didn't do none of that. And I kept trying to process, when you first wake up, you're kind of like, you have to get your thoughts together and just kind of, And for a brief moment, I thought, well, did I order something? And I just don't remember because, like I said, there's been times I've done that because I take prescribed medication for sleep from my doctor. Because with this job, when you drive for a living, and Slick Rick, he knows where I'm coming from. He's an owner operator for Major Trucking. One call does it all. So when I get here, I have 1 hour and I have to take my med and I have to go to sleep. I need my sleep so I can get up and go do it again. It's a constant rat race, man, and it's I know it's not good for you, but you got to sleep. If you drive for a living, you better get your sleep. So anyway, there's been times where I've taken my medication and I got on Sweetwater or whatever, or even Amazon, and I've ordered something and I pass out and my phone's laying on beside me or on my chest, and I wake up the next morning and I'm like, man, and I look and it says, thank you for your purchase, and I'm like, what? So that has happened, and it might have happened to other people too. So back to the story, I was getting these emails from Sweetwater, and I was like, nah, man, that don't make any sense at all. So I was very careful on which email to open up and which not to open up. So I made sure to open up the emails that said, here's thank you for your purchase, blah, blah, blah. And it was all these different types of plugins. If you record with an interface and a DAW, you can get plugins to help enhance your sound or do whatever. If people aren't familiar with what I mean by plugins, I have a couple of plugins that I've purchased from Eventide. R2 introduced me to those sometime last year, but here's the trick. For my computer, I don't know about anybody else's. I have just this little Samsung laptop, right? So it's the more plugins you add to your DAW, the more it sucks power, man, and it can cause skips and pauses in when you're recording or playing or whatever. It can do that stuff. It can, so you can't use a lot of I can't use a lot of plugins on my stuff because it makes the DAW for lack of a better term, makes it spit and sputter, and it's not smooth. So I can't use a lot of plugins. I can use maybe two, and sometimes it still wants to hesitate with that. So there is no way in the world I would order all these plugins because it's not going to do me any good. And so Larry Riker, hey man, co-host of Talking Guitars and More. Hey man, how are you doing? Mr. Craig Stavko, luthier. Man, what is going on, Craig? Hello, Mr. Wentz. Just stopped by, going back to work. Well, thank you, Craig. Thank you for saying hello, man. His work on building guitars and anything this man touches is incredible. I mean, I have huge respect for you, Mr. Stavko. I mean, I wish I could do stuff like that. His guitar builds are amazing. And so CHS Custom Guitars, check him out on Facebook and everything else. And he stays busy, man. He stays busy, and his guitars are incredible. I mean, just look at his reviews and look at the pictures he has with top name guitar players in the industry. I mean, it's no joke. You know, he's not some fly by night luthier. He knows his, you know what? He knows his stuff, man. So big shout out to Mr. Stavko. He's always been very kind to me. Always have. Yeah, there you go. Check out my post. Hung out with Pantera. See what I mean? Who else can do that? I couldn't walk up there and hang. They would like, what the hell's that four-eyed fool? Won't get him out of here. You know? So, but I could say, hey, I'm delivering some milk. And that wouldn't work, you know? All right. So plugins would not do me any good whatsoever. And so the bottom line is somebody hacked my account on Sweetwater and ordered over $2,000 worth of these plug-in bundles and all this other crazy stuff. And I was like in panic mode. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, what the hell? And like I said, for a brief moment, I thought, that did somebody order me something, which is weird because I don't, like I said in yesterday's video, I don't ask nothing from nobody. I got a job. I go to work to buy my toys. I don't have a wish list. I don't believe in none of that stuff. I think if you want something, you get your butt out there and you work and you get it with your own money. That's me. Just me. You'll never see a Patreon thing on here. You'll never see me asking for money. You'll never see me on here, you know, doing anything like that. For a brief moment, I thought that's what it was, but I was like, well, if that's the case, why would it charge me? So then it was really, really quick in my head to say, man, I've been hacked. You know, so Mr. Mitch Heyman, hey, Mr. Heyman, I hope you're doing well, man. Thank you for commenting. Thank you, Mr. Stavko. Thank you. Andrew Knox said, you could probably see Pantera if you were delivering some Jaeger instead of milk. Yeah, there you go. That would work. Okay, so I get all this stuff, and I immediately call Sweetwater, and I said, it was a Sunday, so that's what's so messed up. These people that are doing this, they get you, man, on the weekend where you can't call anybody. And like I said, when I woke up this morning, I checked my bank account. Negative, big time. And I said, oh my God. And I said, well, I think I got enough gas to get to work and back today. And because my truck broke down, the engine locked up on it, the oil leaked out the side of the block, and I didn't know that was happening over a period of time. I mean, from the last time I changed the oil, I still had 1,500 miles to go for a new oil change. And I didn't know it was leaking, so my all the oil leaked out and my engine locked up. So now that engine is ruined. That truck is, Big Blue is, you know, rest in peace, Big Blue, right? So anyway, I called Sweetwater, and my sales rep, of course, he's not there, and it says if you need immediate assistance, you know, press whatever 5 or whatever. So I talked to somebody, and I told him what was going on. He was really nice, and he said, okay, I'll send this to the verification team. I said, okay. So about 20 or 30 minutes later, I know I said this yesterday, guys, but I'm just giving people an update that are viewing from another platform, so please bear with me. About 20 or 30 minutes went by after I talked to that first gentleman at Sweetwater. I waited about 20, 30 minutes. I called back to make sure that they had the ball rolling on this huge problem. And the guy said, "Yeah, I can see where they put notes on your account to be handled by the verification team, and we've sent an alert to your sales rep." I said, "Okay, thank you." So let me go back up to Jamal's comment, and we'll come down to Polly's comments. I told Jamal I would showcase his comment. Let me go all the way up. Here we go. All right. Jamal says, I figured that PayPal has buyer's protection for purchases. That would be a great way to protect from fraud and unauthorized purchases. Yeah, I'm sure they do, Jamal. The thing is, the hacker that did this, he hacked my Sweetwater. So he didn't hack the PayPal. He hacked the Sweetwater. After further investigation today and everything, he hacked the Sweetwater account, and so he just put all the stuff in the cart, and then when he hit checkout, he went to PayPal, but you have different things linked to your PayPal, either your debit card and your bank, or PayPal credit. So when he went to check out, he chose my bank, so it didn't go through the debit card route. So that makes it a lot harder to it makes it a lot harder for the victim to get things resolved, because that night, Saturday afternoon, I called, because my bank was closed, but I called a number to try to talk to somebody, and it was like the debit card fraud protection, and talked to that gentleman, and he said, well, all I can see is what was done through the card. I can't anything else, I can't see that. I said, okay. So Paulie makes a comment. Let's see what he says. He says, Sweetwater should verify purchases over $1,000 by calling the customer to validate before processing, or given a message to call customer service to proceed with the purchase. That would be wonderful, Paulie. He deserves a round of applause for that. I agree with that 100%. And I think they should put something like that in place. I think that would stop a lot of this. Man, I don't know if they have the manpower to do that, but they should be able to set up an automated system like these other things that are around. Like even when I log into my YouTube, it has a 2-step verification when I'm logging into my account, and it says you have to go through these steps to get to my account. So they should be able to set up something like that comes to your phone. I think Sweetwater should do something like that. That's a great idea, Paulie. Big shout out to Paulie for that. I think that's great. Hell, I need to call him and tell him you said that. Or you can call him, but yeah, so I got hacked, and over $2,000 worth of plugins that I can't, nothing like, I would never order nothing like that because I didn't have that kind of money. So the guy not only wiped me out, he wiped out my overdraft protection too, and it's just made for a horrible weekend. Ricky Hull says, I think people that do things like that should just drop before they do it. I can't say that other word, Rick, on YouTube, but I understand. I agree. I think somebody that does somebody like this should be handled in a very serious manner. I really do. Hey, Dwight Bailey, how are you doing, man? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that very much. So I had to catch everybody up there. There's Brother Ron Pepper. Hey, Ron. Very nice. PayPal should still handle it if Sweetwater doesn't. That's why they are there, Ron says. Yes, Jamal. He says, yeah. He said, so they chose your bank to pay through PayPal? Yes, because when you have a PayPal account, PayPal, it says if you link. Now, this was years and years ago when I first created my PayPal. when you link your bank with your account, you become verified with PayPal, so they know you're not, a scammer, or whatever. They know that it helps you get verified, and it makes things a lot easier for purchasing power. It helps the customer a lot. And like I said, this person hacked my Sweetwater. They didn't hack the PayPal, but the way they went about charging me all this money, they went through the back door of the payment option with PayPal, and they chose the bank because it was, so, oh my God. So it was, I had to go and change all my passwords, and I'm getting ready to touch on what happened about an hour ago. Ricky, all right, man, take care. He says, I'll call you tomorrow night. Okay, be careful, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Slick Rick. The dog puh. Never had issues with Sweetwater. What happened? I got, just to cut and drive it, Mr. Dog, I got hacked on Sweetwater. Somebody charged me over $2,000 worth of plugins for, I guess if you have, it's not, I guess. When you have a DAW and use plugins, you know all about that. But it was really bull crap stuff that I would never use. You'd have to have a major studio for all this stuff that was purchased under my PayPal, because my PayPal's linked with Sweetwater. So I think it's time to unlink that. And Dave Randall says, "Hey Joe, ouch, yeah, man, it's horrible." This chat is blowing up. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, Paulie, I agree. Again, I agree with what you said. They deal with huge money purchases and should have something in place. Yeah, even my bank, when I've made purchases years ago, when I had a few grand, and like when I went to buy my half stack all those years ago, and I made that purchase, even my bank called me and said, "Hey, did you make this purchase?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Okay, see, I think Sweetwater should do that as well." As I give Paulie for that. He said that in the chat. So, absolutely. So, I'm starting to believe that too, Mr. Knox. Andrew says, in my experience, credit cards have way better security than debit cards, linked bank accounts, etc. Yeah, I found that out the hard way. My problem is I don't have a credit card that's worth anything. I mean, it has a high interest rate. The credit limit's really low. I got it a couple of years ago, and I ain't even used it. I just have it just to have an emergency card. But yeah, I agree, Andrew. Totally. I think credit card companies follow up on this stuff a lot faster. I would never let anyone keep your card info. No, nobody has my card info. I would never do that. What I explained earlier is the hacker who hacked my Sweetwater account put all these plug-in bundles into the shopping cart, okay? And when he chose the payment option, he chose PayPal, and my PayPal had a few options to pay. One of those options is my bank. So he didn't go the debit card route. He went through the bank institution route, which none of that stuff is revealed. It's encrypted, but still, when he got in there to do that, it let him make the purchase, and it charged me in turn with all this money. So no, man, I would never give out no card info. I wouldn't. I didn't do that, and I never would do that. But thank you, Dalpa, for that comment. Jamal says, still PayPal should reverse the transaction. No, I'm sorry. It jumped on me. PayPal should reverse the transaction if you say that you didn't make the purchase. They did for me years ago. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Now, I asked my wife. Actually, I left her a text when I was laying down this morning because she was asleep. So I asked her if she could please go to the bank and talk to the young lady up there and tell her what's going on. And here's the kicker. All right, she went to the bank and she got an appointment to talk with the customer service lady, talk to her, and they said there was nothing they could do. The bank can't do nothing because it went through PayPal. I said, okay. So, like I said, I called Sweetwater twice yesterday when I found out what was going on. I called them twice, and I think that played a big role because when I woke up, it wasn't long that I got those emails, maybe within 10 minutes. So I called them. Thank God I didn't wait real long. So, again, and told them what was going on. I said, look, man, I didn't make these purchases. So my wife goes to the bank. They say they can't do nothing because it's a PayPal issue, and really it falls on Sweetwater. That's what they said at the bank. So I was getting dressed because pretty soon I'll be going to work, and my wife gets home. She had some running around to do, and she told me what they said at the bank and all that. And by that time, my phone rings, believe it or not. And it's Sweetwater calling me. And and it was my rep. And he said, I think he was shocked that I answered because all the times he calls, I'm either asleep or I'm going down Highway 11 trying to get to work. And you really don't, as you know, don't have much of a signal. So, so Sweetwater calls, and I say, hello, it's my rep. And he said, hey, Joe. He said, I'm just following up with your call from yesterday. He goes, man, I'm so sorry that happened. He goes, I'm waiting to hear from the verification team right now. He says, but I will not leave this office until this gets resolved today. So that was nice to hear. I said, okay, man. And I told him that I had some friends in the guitar community that have experienced this as well. And he said, yeah. He said, yeah, we've had other people get hacked. And he said it's horrible. He said, so I was thinking to myself, well, like what Paulie said, I was like, shouldn't they take something into account and try to prevent that? Do a follow-up thing or something? Anyway, so he said, I will call you back in at least the maximum time, an hour. I said, okay. So I hung up. I was talking to my wife, and man, it was 10 minutes later. My phone rang again. It was Sweetwater again. So I got it, put it on speakerphone, and it was my rep. And he said I'm hearing from the verification team now. So he was actually looking at his computer and reading me what they said. He goes, we're going to give you a full refund, and just, everything will be all right. So he said it might take a couple of days for the process. He said, but we're going to refund all the money. He said, we apologize for that. I said, look, man, you don't need to apologize. It wasn't, y'all didn't do it. I said it was the hacker. I said my main concern was getting my money back. I said, because, dude, I'm in the hole. And he says, I understand. He goes, I'm very, very sorry for that. And so big shout out to my sales rep, Paul Eckard. If I'm messing up your name, Paul, I'm sorry. Big shout out to Paul Eckard from Sweetwater. He stepped up to the plate and he took care of business. And Sweetwater keeps me as a customer, So there's a few things I'm going to do on my end, which I've already done a few things already, but I'm going to do a few more just for extra security, extra precautions. And because I'm telling y'all, you don't want to go through this. You don't want to go through this. Let's see. Mitch says, Mr. Mitch Heyman, he says, I call Sweetwater and talk to my salesman when I ordered something and they ask me how I want to pay. Yeah, well, that's great. You're actually talking to them. That's great. I always just do mine online. which, you know what? It might not be a bad idea to call someone and talk to them. But like I said, these hackers, they do all that online, and it blew my mind that, you know, I hear you, Dogpa. I understand where you're coming from, man. I understand. Mr. Randall's. Joe, debit card doesn't have security. You basically are out of luck, I think. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, well, again, they didn't use the debit card route. They didn't do that. They used my bank institution route from PayPal. They did not use the debit card route. Let's see. Yeah, I have no auto pay with Sweetwater, Mitch Heyman says. Yeah, that's something else I'm going to do. I'm going to change all that stuff. Now that will be changed. And Charlie S. Hey, man. He says, hey, Joe, I'm late to the video. What happened as of today with the situation? Mr. Charlie, hey, man. Yeah, I got a call from Sweetwater about an hour ago. And like I said, my rep, Paul Eckhard, he heard from the verification team that they saw that I did not place these orders. They looked at the IP address and saw that it was not ordered from me. So that was the saving grace. And so he said, I'll get a full refund. And see, the emails they sent with those download links for these weird plug-in bundles, I never opened those emails, never. The only email I opened was "Thank you for your order," and it showed, it showed what you ordered, right? So that's what part 2 here is about. Sweetwater stepped up. Paul Eckert and Sweetwater stepped up, and I'm getting my money back. I'm very, very relieved. My wife was standing there. I had him on speakerphone, and he said, it might take about 48 hours. He said, but we'll put it back. And I was like, oh my God. So, I mean, that was, when, for me, something like this has never happened. I've always been really good about having really good passwords, and sometimes go back and forth and change them again. And, so this was a crazy experience, a learning experience, but oh my God. Let's see. Ricky G. Bluesman. Hey, man. Oh my God. Let's see. We got to read this here. Ricky G. Bluesman. Hey, how are you, man? He says, my wife and I got hacked and ripped off our credit cards, bank account, Social Security checks, and my Sweetwater account. We heard that the bank person that put me onto the joint account was arrested. Oh my God. It was an inside job with the bank? Oh my God. Well, I'm sure you got your money back, Ricky. I hope so, man. I hope that had a happy ending for y'all. Oh, man. That's true, Dolp. I agree. And that's something that I'm going to do. If they have no info, they cannot do anything in Sweetwater. Sweetwater had your info. They should not remove it now. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, this is a learning experience. Big time. So, yeah. Absolutely. Paulie, when is it being delivered, or is it all software? Yeah, it's the software bundle. So they send you a link, and you would download that to your computer. And the thing that really raised a lot of red flags is normally if you were to order something like that on legitimately, and you're like, oh, this don't work, I don't like it, you're not gonna get your money back. And they have that on there. It says, hey. They put it in bold print. You know, if you order this and you download it, that's it. It's yours. So another reason I don't order stuff like that, because I don't know what it sounds like. That's why I like pedals and effects processors. And, you know, I know you can go on YouTube and see reviews of that stuff, those plugins, but I don't like plugins, man. I mean, I like the two I have is a harmonizer, Eventide, and then I ordered a delay plugin, actually from Sweetwater last year. Stereo delay plugin. Other than that, I use pedals, and I like stuff that's, you know, you can actually hold and turn knobs and use. That's what I like, because with plugins, you sound great on your laptop and it sounds wonderful, but if you go to play somewhere else, unless you take all this stuff with you, you're not going to have that exact sound. So that's why I like having like the HeadRush Prime, and I got a pedal board beside the Prime that has all my, you know, physical effects, you know, EVH pedal products and wah pedals, and I don't want something that I have to go up to the screen on my computer and say, oh, let me tap this. And I mean, no, that's why I like actual pedals. Just me, man. You know, I'm not dogging it. So yeah, Paula, it was a download link, and like I said, I never opened those at all. In the USA, it's illegal for them to have your info stored unless they ask you first, the DALPA says. Where? Polly says where? They delivered it by email to my email is where they send the links, you know. Whatever email they have on file, which is my email, that's where they would send that stuff. Ralph the German Butcher, hey, brother. He says, you are definitely going through a rough patch lately. Yeah, man. Crazy. Insane. But at least this got resolved. Now I just got to figure out what to do about another pickup truck. Because I was thinking, honestly, I was thinking last night. Because when you drive for a living, man, that's all you do is you think. And all this stuff's on your mind. And I was like, okay, if I get a new engine for Big Blue, you're looking at anywhere between $4,000 to $6,000, maybe more. And then you got to pay somebody to put it in. And that's not something that could be done like that. It takes time. I said, or could I get another pickup truck for $6,000, something? So I was looking online last night and I found something. Now I don't know. I haven't had a chance to study it, to research it. I don't know if it's still available. Maybe it's already been sold. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'll let y'all know more information about that as I get closer to what I need to do. But it looks like I might go that route because, it's for sale at a dealership, a Chevy dealership in Charlotte. Which from here, I guess to get to that dealership, it's probably. From here to Charlotte, I don't know, man, probably 2.5 hours, maybe 2 hours. But I got to do something. I've always had a truck ever since I was in my early 20s. I've always had a pickup truck, and they're so convenient. I love having a truck. You know, you can, if you go on a trip and you want to put your grill in the back or whatever, or if you've got to haul the trash to the dump, or you got to pick up something from a big box store, you can throw it in the back, or got to take, like when I take lawnmower stuff to do my mom's yard, I throw it in the back of the truck. And you don't want to put all that stuff in the back of your car, all that grass and nasty stuff, and a gas can, and so stuff like that I think about. Ron Pepper, he says that's why I like Sweetwater customer service. Yeah, they came through for me, my friend, today, which was good, which was really, really good. Let's see. Yeah, mine is too. Fortunately, my Sweetwater account is hooked up to my Sweetwater credit card, which is slightly over. Jamal. Yeah, me too, man. My Sweetwater credit is hooked to that as well. Awesome to hear, Joe. Jamal says, thank you, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Mitch Heyman says Sweetwater is making it right. That is good. Mitch Heyman says yes. Thank you, Mr. Heyman. I appreciate that very much. Ricky G. Bluesman, he says, warning, bank employees have access to your financial info. We got hacked by one. After a while, he got caught. So beware of those you trust the most. Wow. Yeah, especially with bank employees, man. You're right. They have everybody's info. So that's scary too, isn't it? I mean, really. Let's see. Electric Gypsy Blues, man. He says, great news, Joe. Thank you. Thank you, Louie. I appreciate that. Dwight Bailey says, I'm glad they're making it good. Me too, man. Me too. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bailey. I appreciate that, man. The dog food, I hear you. He goes, I do the net as a job. I'm a pro. I take them to the cleaners. There you go, dog. There you go, dog food. There you go. Ron Pepper says, I got to get back to work. Talk to you soon. Thank you very much, Ron. And I need to give a shout out to people who reached out to me through Facebook Messenger, which was absolutely incredible. I was just, I wasn't expecting any of that. And so I got to give a few people a shout out here because they didn't have to do that. And it was really nice. Andrew Knox, he sent me a message on through WhatsApp this morning, and he said, he was sorry to hear what had happened, and he hopes it gets fixed. And now he's commenting here, and he says, glad it's fixed. Hope it's all, I hope it won't take too long. Thank you, man. All right, let's see. Jamal, let's see. He has a quick question here. No problem, man. We got a few minutes. Jamal says, I have a quick question. Did they order something other than the plugins? I thought they also ordered a piece of hardware, and if they did, would it have been shipped to your address? That's a great question, Jamal. Thank you for your question. Everything was plugins. Yeah, so there was no actual physical products that I would get. No, everything was plugins, and they send you the downloadable link through email. Now, if I had went to the email and opened it up and downloaded the stuff, then I'd be effed, but I knew better. I was like, first of all, I didn't order this stuff. Second of all, don't open those emails. Don't touch them. Leave them alone. And they saw that because it was brought to my attention. And I said, yeah, man, I'm not touching that stuff. But no, it was no physical hardware, Jamal, at all. It was all plugins. So you'd have to, they'd send you the link. You would download it to your computer, and you'd go from there to access the product. And that's something that like I said, all that stuff that was in there is no way I could use that stuff. I mean, that stuff was designed, for like a big studio type deal. You know what I mean? For a big computer that has a lot of RAM, and somebody's got a lot of money tied up into big money. What I'm using is just beginner stuff because it works for me. It's not pro audio quality, but it's not the bottom of the barrel either. It's kind of in between. I'd say mid-tier quality, but you can manipulate the audio stuff where it sounds better if you just tinker with things in a certain way. Yeah. I hear you, Dolph. Wow. Dolph is going off on people, boy. I think he's just because he's got well, I understand, Dolph, but the system failed when the purchases were made. Yeah, I agree, but they did make it right. So I got to give them credit for that, because if they didn't make it right and I'm sitting here with all this money gone, yeah, it would this would be a different video, And but I understand where you're coming from, man. I understand where you're coming from. Dalba says, shut down social media. Never bank online. There's a guy at work. Dalba, God almighty, boy. Look at this. Yeah. Hey, man. But, yeah, social media has changed things a lot in this country, in the world, not just the country. And I think back to when before social media was even a thing, and I said, man, things were, to me, in my lifetime, and for my life history, I look back and I was like, man, things were better before social media, man. Now things are just so crazy. I mean, you have people posting little 15-second videos, and they're in this fancy hotel room, and the woman's taking a drink. I don't know if it's champagne. She goes, well, I made it to Vegas, and that's it. And it has like 100,000 views on a little 15. I was like, why is that? Why does that get views? What the hell is going on? So I'm an old guy now, so I'm out of the loop and all that stuff. And all these people are young, and they appear to have money, and which I think a lot of that is just a facade. I don't know, man. Okay. Mr. William De Silva, hey man, he says, thank you for commenting again, sir. He says, it cost me $3,500 for a new low-mile motor in my kid's Chevy. It was a used engine. It's spendy stuff. Yeah, man, it's when you're talking about replacing an engine, man, that's no joke. And that's where I'm at right now. The dog post, oh man, my 2023 Chevy truck would be cool if the electronics even remotely functioned. Look up GM, the class action. Oh my God, a 2023. Dang, man, that thing's still brand new. Oh my God, dog, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Do I have notifications at when get by email that when I get somebody logs in? Excuse me. I did. Well, it was after the fact, and then I went ahead and changed it. Yeah. And I got after this phone call, they locked my account again and said to change the password again. So this will be the third time I've changed it within, I don't know, 24 hours, I guess. So yeah. They have the IP records. Yeah, and that's right. They followed up with me, and everything's good now. Yeah. Okay, Paulie says, okay, see, I think people are getting confused. He says, how did the hacker download it then? You should make sure your email wasn't hacked, Joe. Yeah. Okay, again, the person hacked my Sweetwater account. Okay, how I don't know how he hacked the Sweetwater account, but they did. And when I talked to Paul, my rep, earlier, he said that's been happening quite a bit with Sweetwater. So the hacker got into my Sweetwater account, and then he was able to, go online and put a lot of this plug-in stuff into the shopping cart and pay, because my PayPal's linked with that, like I mentioned before, and he was able to do that, and it just charged me because it's my PayPal account, so it charged me all this money that I didn't have. So technically, he didn't download anything. He just hacked my Sweetwater account and got in there and made a bad day for me. For what reason? I don't know why people are doing this. I don't know what the benefit was to him, which was none. It was just a F with me. Crazy. Oh man, Andrew says Sweetwater has the DARPA foaming at the mouth. Yeah. Hey, I'm glad he's expressing his opinions in the chat. That's what it's all about, man. You know, you got something you want to say in the chat and you want to get it off your chest, put it in there. There should be repercussions, the Dalpa says. Why they get away with this crap? They committed oh, man. Yeah, well, that's over my head, Dalpa. I'm not a lawyer. I can't really say, but I understand where you're coming from. I understand. What? Larry, what'd you say? I feel like Joe picking up a new Cybertruck video would get some views. A Cybertruck? Oh, my God. A Cybertruck. Ain't that something else that's really changed a lot, man? Ain't that something? All these electric vehicles and this and that and the autonomous trucks where there's no, I mean big rigs, there's no physical driver. It's just, but some of that has failed and some of it's been successful. But I don't want that happening. That'd put me out of a job. I gotta have my job. Man, my chat is, I keep trying to adjust this chat and it keeps moving, which is great. Let's see. In order for them to get notified, it went to your email. What do you mean in order for them to get notified? You mean, I don't know. I don't understand. But yeah, everything went to my email. You know, the what do you call it? The receipts or whatever, the purchases, you know. Yeah, it went to my email. Yeah, it sure did. But it's you know, thank God it's settled now, my friend. It's you know, that was a major weight lifted off my shoulder because I was just like, what is happening here? There you go, Jamal. That let this be a lesson to everybody that is with Sweetwater or anything, Amazon. I mean anything. He says, Jamal says, well, I'm going to change my password for Sweetwater right now. That's a good idea to do, man. Absolutely. And yeah. Polly says, oh, I got it now. Yes, sir. Yeah. That's it, man. There you go. Yes, sir. Let's see. I don't see how the Dalpa types this fast. My gosh, man, you are an incredible speed typer. Learn from this, folks. That I agree. I agree, man. Learn from this. Yeah. That's yeah. It's I definitely learned a lesson the hard way, boy. I'm gonna tell you. Man. Anyway, let me give a shout out to these few people that reached out to me on Facebook Messenger really quick. And I was really humbled, really. I was just really, I was like, wow, man. So let me give these people a shout out. Let's see. Sean Brenning. Am I saying your name right, Sean? He has sent me some very kind things through Facebook Messenger, and thank you, Sean, very much. He's got a song he wants me to check out. They did a version of Miles Away by Winger. I covered that song as well, and I always thought that was a fun song, and he said that he wanted me to check out their band covering it, and he sent me a link. I absolutely will. Check that out. And Mike Cheever, I think Mike Cheever, I think he works at Sweetwater. Okay. And he sent me a message and was very kind. And he said that, telling me that it will be resolved. He said this also happened to him and he works at Sweetwater. So, and he said everything will be okay, buddy. It will be taken care of. It happened to me and they will fix it. So, that was very kind. Thank you, Mike Cheever, for those kind words. Louis, he sent me an audio message. Louis, he was kind enough to send me an audio message through Messenger and said that he was sorry to hear about what had happened, and his thoughts and prayers were with me and my wife. And he says there should be some repercussions, for people who did this and everything else. Thank you, Louis, for that kind audio message. And my wife sent me a quick video. I guess it's a little short with Red Fox and Muhammad Ali doing a skit when Red Fox had his own little variety show for a short while. I thought that was funny. And they're just picking on each other. I always loved Sanford and Son. Been a huge fan of that show since I was a kid. And Ted Fair. Now this is what I couldn't believe this. Ted actually sent me a message. Now I don't check these messages till I get home early in the morning because I'm on the road. But Ted asked if he said, "Look, would you like me to send you some funds to help out?" And I said, "No, man, no. That was really kind." I said, "No, man, I appreciate that very much, but no, it's Sweetwater needs to handle this." And I said, "But thank you for even suggesting that," which I wouldn't take it no way, because I'm not about that. Like I said on this channel, I don't ask for nothing. I don't ask for money. I don't do that. So, but Ted Fair, thank you so much for those kind words, man. And he sent me a short clip of his wet, dry, wet setup with his amps and with a Boss PS6 harmonist and a Boss Stereo DD500 to the left and right cabinets. It sounds incredible, Mr. Ted. It's awesome. There is Jimmy Biter. What is going on, Mr. Jimmy? What is happening, my friend? And another shout out on Facebook Messenger from last night is Ron Pepper. Ron Pepper was sent me a message and asked if everything is okay. Said everything should be fine. PayPal and Sweetwater should resolve this, and so Brother Ron, I went to school with him. Very kind. Thank you for the people that reached out via Facebook Messenger like that. That was really, really kind. They didn't have to do that, but they took the time to do it anyway. So that was really, really cool, man. That really was touching. Mitch Heyman, he says maybe or probably a disgruntled Sweetwater employee. Maybe I don't know, man. At this point, anything's possible. I don't know. I don't know, man. The gentleman Ricky Bluesman commented earlier that they got hacked from a bank employee that had their info. So anything's possible. I don't know, but that would be horrible, But they look at the IP address, so they would know. I would imagine when their team goes and investigate that, they would tell the IP address wasn't from their computers either. So, but anyway, anything's possible, right, Mr. Heyman? Anything, right? Mr. Jimmy Biter, yeah, he's going to be on the show, our next show. I enjoyed having him on. I really did. Dolphin. God almighty. Woo, man, I hear you, buddy. He's got a bone to pick with Sweetwater, man. Woo, I'm telling you. Let's see here. Jimmy Biter. He says, I'm at 9,500 feet in a raging blizzard working on a house. Man, be careful, Jimmy. Oh, my gosh, man. In a blizzard on top of that. Oh, my God. Man. You are a better man than me, my friend, because I'd be like, I'm out. I'm out, man. I am out. That's true, Mr. Heyman. They could have used a VPN, a virtual, virtual private network or something, or protection network. What? Yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't think about that either. You're right. Oh, he said, I'm just giving the facts, just the facts. Yeah, I'll tell you, he's a man full of facts, that's for sure, and that's a fact. Jack. That was dry. All right, folks, we've hit over the hour mark. I can smell my dinner cooking or lunch or whatever. So I got to get in there and eat and then scoot on down the road. So that concludes this debacle with Sweetwater. Will Sweetwater do the right thing? And they did. They did the right thing. They made it right. And, so that ends on a good note. So I need to go and fix a few things on my end just for added extra security. And like I said, folks, take this experience, man, and use it for your own protection when it comes to anything online. And, man, never say never, because I thought it would never happen to me, but it did. But luckily, it's being fixed, and the funds will be put back within 48 hours, maybe sooner than that. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Charlie S., he says, have a safe night. Thank you very much. Andrew Knox, he says, peace, everybody. And the dog puh, he says Sweetwater will remove the troops after the war. Oh, my goodness. You're hilarious, man. Mitch Heyman, thanks for the update. Joe, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this conclusion. Part 2, will Sweetwater do the right thing? All right, and if you want to watch the very beginning, watch Part 1 to get the whole rundown on it all. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Stay cool on your stool. Be kind to each other. And until next time, keep rocking. Bye-bye.
She came in and sat down right in front of me. She picked up a glass of wine as I took to see. She said,